Well, it's about that time. Real Housewives of Miami, season number 5, episode 13. It's time for a little R&R. And what do I mean by that? Yes, you may think rest and relaxation, but also randomly Ronnie Jr. and my co-host with the most, Russell Ray Silva. Russell, what's going on, man? How are you feeling about all the Housewives mania that's going on right now?
Oh my gosh. Like the drama in New York, the drama in Miami. I even had to put on my see-through Miami shirt because I was just feeling it. Like
living.
I wanted to give like 90s Versace when we did today's episode. So I had to go grab this out the closet and dust her off. Had to put on my freakum dress.
All right. I do love the way the Miami vibe gives you so much vibrancy, you know, when you watch the show. And that's one thing that is really good about the series. It always plays with colors and I don't know, it just is fun. But the reason I say Housewives Mania, and we're going to do a super quick episode, I'm going to tell you why in a moment. And I'm going to choose some people out in a moment too. But the reason we're going to do a super quick episode, I know I'm starting already, is because there is Housewives Mania right now. Like we do Real Housewives of Miami, and it is a very fun recap. We get a lot of compliments and accolades about it. But just recently, I need you to go head over to, well, really both of our channels and support, comment, like, and subscribe. YouTube.com/randomlyRJ Jr., which you're on right now. And also YouTube.com/at Russell X Raymond. Go there because we are now recapping the Real Housewives of New Jersey on the YouTube channel over there. How do you feel about covering this franchise that you really do like this franchise?
I love this franchise. You know, it's everything when it comes to Jersey.
Like 6 different accents.
I don't even like to talk about it that much unless I'm on camera, because if I'm not talking about it, it's not real. But I do. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited they're back. I'm so excited there's new wives. I'm so excited that there's new husbands, and I'm just excited to see Melissa and Joe Gorga back.
Yes. I mean, you can't really get fatigued because all these shows are really good, and they're all done differently. Miami has its own thing, and so does Jersey. And Miami will be coming to an end soon. I will tell you. Oh, before I scold, I don't know who I'm scolding, but I'm scolding someone, Russell. But before that, we also have an episode that I would love for you to check out on the channel, which is profiling all of the Real Housewives of Miami reunion fashion. So please go take a look at that. And as a little bit of a, what do you call it? Like a quick teaser of that. Here's a YouTube short that kind of showcases how we did that.
Michael Costello, he knows how to dress his artists, and he knows how to dress his celebrities, and they really shine when they walk down the red carpet. I think Beyonce has gotten at least 7 or more looks from him. So I think it's great. I think Larsa knocked it out the park. And again, if something works on your body, why not use it over and over, just in a different color, a different style? If that cut works on your body, keep it. Bring it up again?
Yeah, keep it on for a second. It's very sensual. Say it again.
Oh no, like leave it up and keep it up for a second. But you see how like he accents the neckline and the bust line, and there's also a plunging neckline to accent the bust line as well. But he had that sheer connection in between there, and then there's the sheer camisole that wraps around the waist. But Larsa has worn a look similar to this before, but it really works on her. So I wouldn't see why she wouldn't wear this again, but just in a different format. So I think she knocked it out the park.
So there you go. YouTube Shorts is kind of a newer thing on YouTube. Obviously, I love the longer episodes, but Russell Ray is really good at TikTok, Reels and all that stuff. I struggle with it a little bit, but lately I've been isolating some of our great moments from the episodes, such as that, and I've been putting it on the YouTube Shorts. So do me a favor, please, and go check out the YouTube Shorts page. Now, quick episode, and I'm going to tell you why. Russell, I'm cranky. Do you want to know why?
Why are you cranky? Tell me.
Well, only because...
Give it to me. Tell me why you're cranky.
Oh, Julia, stop it. Julia, no. No, it's because people are so into these like YouTube shorts and all that. I think sometimes their mind plays tricks on them in a little bit of a way. We deliver quality episodes. We've done it every episode. But we had one episode that was about 2 hours. But let me tell you, all 2 hours were heat. That's just
giving it.
I mean, don't get mad at me because I could give you 2 good hours. I've got stamina. No,
Oh.
um, so I got a little frustrated because our lowest rated episode in terms of views and stuff was the 2 hour one because you, the viewer, said, "Oh my god, it's 2 hours! I'm so intimidated." Watch the show, turn it on like you did last episode, and you're gonna like it. I guarantee it. So I blame YouTube Shorts for that. And anyways, I'm not that mad. I just wanted to be dramatic. But I will tell you on the same token, because we did a 2 hour episode and it was a lot of hard work and it was a really good episode and it wasn't appreciated like I would have liked, I'm going to tell you today to comment, like, and subscribe. That's number one. And number two, you only get a 30-minute episode today because we already recapped Housewives in New Jersey and Ronnie is a busy man and I got places to go and that's it. Shut
People
up.
to do. See. People to see.
Yes. It is the weekend. The weekend starts on Thursday.
Look out,
Oh,
weekends, cause here
yeah.
I come.
Okay.
Because weekends were for on.
You're really getting into your Aquarius vibe, which it's the end of Aquarius season, but your birthday season, this is exciting.
Tomorrow I will be 31 years young.
You got to say it. Yeah, 31 years young. Celebrate each and every year. You know, age played a little bit of an impact in this episode, so I want to get your take on that.
Okay.
But why don't you take it away with the way the episode went in terms of we're going to the Bahamas. A little too much, in my opinion, too much flash forward and then day of and all the little lower third chyrons telling us just give us the show we're watching. I mentioned
Yes.
this on New Jersey. I don't need to know this is the wedding and then 30 days or 3 months before. Just give us the show. And in fact, while you're at it, just cut Julia out.
Ooh.
She's not that intriguing, but we're going to the Bahamas. This is in the vein of Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how you feeling about just everything, Russell?
I feel like I'm glad Dr. Nicole spearheaded this. I think she was the person to have a calm, collected girls' trip and to have some fun there. And I even like more that the episode started with Julia and Adriana going to the crystal shop to pull some brujeria kind of thing. So, I mean, I think, and obviously we saw it play out in the episode, but I think it was great.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not against like getting connected within your spiritual vibes, but don't put that out on others. And you know, people feel ways about ways, and we just will leave it.
There's
But
something called ojo that people are always weary of with newborn babies,
mhm,
right? And this is in relation to what went on in the episode, but like my family was always cautious when we had newborns to bring them around people that would give your baby ojo, so that because they stare at their child with such jealousy or such animosity that it makes your baby sick. And the only way to get rid of it is to call up the tias and have the sage and put the egg underneath the bassinet, and in the morning the spirits will be in the egg and the egg will be hard boiled, and it's just the whole thing. They did it to me, they did it to my brother, my mom did it to all of us. But yes, I'm very much as in don't project yourself onto others, because that is a true thing. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, it is merely transferred. So you're transferring bad energy to other people. Don't do it. This is why when people come off crazy to me, I come off crazy to them, because I got to give it back to them, because I want to hang on to that for the rest of the day. So
the the good compliments of the situation were yes, the Bahamas trip was nice. And it did put Nicole in a little bit of a leadership role, and she handled the role very well. But I just, I don't like Julia enough to also want to see a scene where she's like, "Oh, the curtain is defeating me." You know what I mean? And maybe the
mhm.
curtain was defeating her. Maybe there was something, but again, I'm not really going. That's not. Go ahead, Julia, do you? But I don't need to see it. It's uninteresting to me. So I feel like going towards the middle or the end of the episode, I would have sided a little bit more with Alexia. I know Alexia says a lot of things. She's very much the Teresa of this series. She says stuff and not all of it is correct, but there are some times where it's like, yeah, Alexia, I hear you. Like I feel you in this one. But yeah, that's the thing. Like we're not that close. And then this is going to be the gift that's sort of misunderstood. I don't know. I guess it was a kind gesture on some level. And that's when they get to the dinner. But I guess we could start with more the overall location was beautiful. I mean, where they
Gorgeous.
stayed, and I'll let you take this away because you're a Dr. Nicole stan, I believe, and
Yes.
I pretty much thinking that you're gonna say something along the lines of, "Wow, how does she display such great etiquette and manners by saying we're gonna let Lisa have the master suite?" Is that how you felt? Because
I wasn't gonna say that, but
oh,
I
okay,
agree with it.
but I'm saying I saw it that way. Like I was like a little like, dang, like I can't really hate on Dr. Nicole because that was a very sweet thing to do for
Yeah.
Lisa. I could question the intention,
Look.
but it was done, and it made Lisa happy. Although the flashback of Lisa being spoiled last season was a little funny to watch.
Mm. I thought it was nice. I thought it was great that Lisa, she's going through a lot. Again, we just passed the 1 month of her, being finding out that her life was imploding. And so sometimes I think when you take that into consideration, you can give someone their space so that they can just go through their emotions and go through their things by themselves. And sometimes you don't want to go to bed with a friend and like have that in your room and just talk about the night. Sometimes you just want to go, you want to fall asleep, you want to call it a night, you want to relax, you want to put your face mask on, you want to put your little things underneath your eyes so that you ain't got bags under your eyes. All those things take into account. And I think that's what Nicole was coming from with that. As in the resort itself, I think Nicole knocked it out the park. I wish every housewife on Miami would take a little bit of this lead and to just, we're here to have fun. We're here not to have drama. This is a girls trip. We can have drama at home, but just leave the drama at home and let's just enjoy our time here.
Russell, but we're making a TV show. You gotta say something though. That's why I
But
say Dr. Nicole cute, etiquette, yay. Dr. Nicole, she's rich, yay. That's all good, but you have to say something. Dr. Nicole is like a Hallmark card, and she is good. There's a lot of things I like about her.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
be clear, but it's like I sometimes feel like the way she speaks is to kind of give a nod to like the others, like this is how you do it, and it's like, Nicole, if we were to follow you in season 1, episode 1, like if you were on season 1, the show would have never got picked up because you can't, like, this is not a Hallmark card. I don't need all the drama, understand that, but
Yeah.
you gotta say and do something. And sometimes
Something.
Nicole, outside of being gorgeous, oh my god, what a beautiful woman, and intelligent, and great friendship with Gertie. But I sometimes feel like they're trying to paint a picture. If you really squint and see it, you see it. That's that. Do you
I understand what you're saying.
completely? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Look at that. I'm not going to argue with you today.
I know last week I was like, well, I think this, and you were like, well, I think this.
just like an old married couple from 35 years.
We were just
over
tired.
nothing.
This is, and again, as I said, go to Russell Ray's TikTok and Instagram. Actually, if you want to speak that out real quick, what is your TikTok and Instagram? Your handle?
My Instagram is at Russell X Raymond, and my TikTok is the same thing.
Same thing. So while we're talking about and promoting that, we have to promote
my gorgeous lashes that I have.
Oh, okay. Well, when you're not looking at the lashes and you want to see another quick clip, this is a little example of the back and forth from last week, in terms of a YouTube short that I threw up. And yes, not threw up, but I added. And yes, it is a back and forth that's like, you're not going to tell me. So check this out. The number one thing I don't like, though, is the passive, communication, and I don't know. Again, I'm going to go back and watch the scene, the credit card incident. Because Nicole's so rich. Yay, you're so rich. Yay, we're so impressed. Yay.
Look,
we're
when
not,
she drops money in your Patreon, I'm gonna have you send it back.
We're not. No. This is a service. Are you? What? It's a service to get my Patreon. And if Nicole drops money, it's a service. She redeems the service. Don't do that. No. No, but listen. The way I came with that, so I am a defensive little bitch. I need a hug or something. Why am I so quick to be like, well, you don't tell me. And if she drops money, she redeems the service, and ha 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 ha. So I am sorry. It is the way I am sometimes.
That's the way love goes, as Janet Jackson said.
But anyways, check all that stuff out because oh, I love Janet. That's on the YouTube Shorts, within the YouTube channel. So go check that stuff out. Um, what other things impressed you from this part of the episode? Them choosing the rooms, even just the combinations, and even Alexia not having Marisol. While I missed Marisol at the beginning of the episode, I do think, God, I want to word this the right way. Like Real Housewives of Potomac, I love Giselle. Not everybody does. But sometimes they say, oh, well, Giselle's only as good as Robin, which I totally disagree. I think Robin is good on her own. I think Giselle's good on her own. People disagree. I don't care about that. Disagree all you want. But there is sometimes a refreshing energy when Alexia, who's always so tied to Marisol, can be on her own because it does allow a little bit of a connection. And we really did see her connect with, I guess, the younger girls. I don't really love a young girl, old Golden Girls divide, but it was kind of cool to see. What were your thoughts?
I think it's good to sometimes differentiate yourself from your common surroundings because sometimes you unwillingly take on projections from someone else and you start acting like them, or you have the same attitude or outlook in at the moment that they have. So like, I know even with my best friends, sometimes when I'm talking to my best friends, we get each other hyped up in bad ways. And I'm like, I just need a break. I need to breathe for about 5 minutes, things like that. So I think Alexia being apart from Marisol is good. It gives her different perspective. It allows her to, just enjoy the moment, even strike up her own drama. I'm not saying don't strike up drama. If you're going to strike it up, let it be your own. Don't let anybody else be in your corner. Just do it and spearhead it yourself, and that'll be okay too. But I do like the fact that she was able to formulate her own opinions this time around and actually enjoy herself and just her own presence instead of having someone by her side and a sidekick. It's not always necessary.
And I think that goes for everyone because everyone sort of turns into your comfort zone. Larsa always going to be with Kiki. Gertie's always going to be with Nicole. Alexia's always going to be with Marisol. You almost do need to switch that up a little bit. Oh, such a nice comment. We got to throw this up.
Hello, hi, Ronnie and Empress. How you doing, Bo?
Hello, Ronnie and Russell. Just a note to say hello. Glad to catch this live, but I have yet to watch the episode. Oh, well, you know what? I got to say thank you. Whenever you watch the episode, you could always go to youtube.com/randomlyRJ. And I've got to tell you, if you're just catching us right now, we mentioned this just a second ago. Also go to Russell Ray's YouTube channel, at Russell X Raymond, because we did a Real Housewives of New Jersey recap on that channel. So now you're going to get Miami, you're going to get New Jersey, and a lot of other fun stuff, respectively, on both channels. So if you're stopping in now, come watch whenever you want, live or on the replay. We don't mind. Did you think it was interesting that Marisol got COVID and disagreed with it, or were you bummed that she didn't make the trip initially?
Didn't Mama Elsa call herself a witch at one point?
Yeah, she did. That was the first thing I thought of. Yeah.
So sometimes spirits don't die.
Yeah. No, they don't ever. Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. So my question, I guess, is, while I said on one side I liked Alexia without Marisol because she was able to kind of be a little bit different and join and go on the water slide, et cetera, but I do think Marisol was missed. I gotta tell you, she was missed. I just feel like we joke that she's kind of got this one note, the drunk and the frustrated older lady, her words, not really ours. But I really do feel like she's a little bit of a void from the show, the same way like even Lisa is when Lisa's not around. So I was glad we got that big surprise at the end.
I mean, I don't know if I was glad. Just because I don't know what's going to come from it. I don't know. Because, Alexia and the fact that Julie and Adriana Demora had, crystals and things like that on them. Alexia's going to bring it up, and then Marisol's going to get involved as well. Well, why didn't you make me do this? And I was at home because no wonder I didn't have COVID and I didn't believe it. She's going to do the whiny thing, and I need another cocky. There's just a lot of that going on.
Dang. Can I tell you all? I want to tell you all. Can I tell you all? I'm going to tell you. This is the second episode in a row that Russell Ray came for Marisol because last week, and you had to, because we got to give our honest opinions. It's like when
Yeah.
people say, Ronnie, why are you all into Nicole's business? No, it's just, the show, we watch, we react. We don't have issues with anybody.
Yeah.
But last week, I was like, oh, I thought Marisol looked good at the reunion. Ooh, Russell, shut that down. So now you're saying you think she's going to be an enabler to hype up Alexia a little bit. That's what you're worried about.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a fair assessment.
To stir the pot for no reason. Everything was going fine. Even the card game, which could have gone askew left, it really could have. When Adriana was mimicking Julia's voice, it really could have taken an offensive. It could have taken an offensive angle to it, which it didn't. It actually worked. Everyone laughed about it. Julia accepted it. She wasn't offended, but also there is something to be said when your friend is making fun of you versus if anybody else making fun of you. So, I mean, again, like it wasn't. This was a lighthearted game, unlike historically what happens with this group is when they do have any sort of fun, it tends to get mixed up with drama for no reason when it's just a fun game. And so I appreciated that. So Marisol showing up, I don't know what that's going to do. I don't think there's going to be good that comes from it. I think Alexia is going to have this sense of confidence now that she can say things maybe that she wasn't going to say before. And it's going to cause the pot to be stirred. And then we're going to have an explosive vacation again.
I agree, but then I also don't agree because
okay,
I feel like, and again, the way it's sort of arced, it's like Nicole saying, we've had games in the past and Marisol was at the helm of those and they turned out to be bad. But, I'm going to do it where we're all bonding. And, it kind of isn't as entertaining, and I'm not really a dramatic person in terms of like, I need the drama. But I just wonder how authentic Nicole is with her mission to be the role of the most like I'm the etiquette and how to treat others persona. Or do you think this literally is who Dr. Nicole is? 1000%. That's what you feel?
No, I think everybody kind of turns it on for the camera. Gertie turns it on for the camera when she has conversations in front of the camera. She's still awkward. And everyone has to find their space and the comfortability and presenting themselves and what they actually want to be on camera and what they're trying to hide. There's also that. So do I think it's 100% her? No. Do I think it's a good 80%? Yes. Okay.
Then let me say, because now that I hear you say it like that, let me react in a way. It's not that I don't mind Nicole doing that, but I sometimes don't like it when your Alexia types just go for broke and just give it up, completely super authentic, but then they kind of make an error because they're not arcing this perfect picture. I just I can't defend, you hear me, right? I can't defend Alexia, no. Because she says a lot of things.
She says a lot of things.
But
and
I'm
you're
at
like,
least,
girl, just pause.
Yeah, but I'm at least a little appreciative that it's 100% funky. Like it's what it is. And that comes from time too. We all know this. Yeah. I think that what was interesting, the whole like Larsa and Nicole thing, and even Nicole saying, oh, I'm better with Larsa, which is good because they don't have to be friends. I've always said that. Yeah. Is I think with people like Larsa, who's been in the public eye for such a long time, you're just so used to being sort of misjudged, even inaccurately. So you have only one route to go, which is keeping it honest. Alexia, she's been on the show for a long time. She's not famous to the degree that she would like to be, but she still is famous no less. And I feel like she's, I guess what I'm saying is, like, even when I used to do radio projects, at the very beginning, you're real tight, put together, real proper. But after a while, you let your real self show a little bit. So I feel like we're dating Nicole at the early stages, and I just don't want to be let down. So understand, for the Nicole fans, hold on, let me just do the close up. For the Nicole fans who just love Nicole and she's got all the money, she's so rich, yay, she's got money. Understand, I'm just want to make sure that we get who she is, next year too. There was a couple issues, even with it's like, no, I don't want to get married. No, I don't want to get married. And I understand people have the right to choose and change your mind, but then suddenly she is engaged. Not everything's always lining up with Dr. Nicole, in my opinion. If I squint, if I don't squint, she's lovely and she's rich. Yay! Are you calling me a hater?
I wish I was rich. You know what? I am gonna be rich.
Yeah, rich in spirit. Come on. I mean, rich in how
Excuse
you?
me, not in spirit.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. I reword. No,
over at Bank of America,
no.
over at Chase Bank. I'm gonna have 7 accounts, and I'm on
Yeah,
offshore accounts as well.
yeah, yeah. And then
Retract that. I rebuke that in the name of brujeria.
okay. Oh, well, let's move on. Did you have any comments about the young fun girls and then the golden girls? I mean, it was edited in such a way. Larsa not knowing what the golden girls are. I mean, Larsa, you're my queen, but everybody knows what the
She knows
golden
what the
girls
Golden
are.
Girls are. That was playing a part. She was playing a
I
part.
don't yeah, I don't love the ageism aspect of it, like, oh, they're the old ones, because you don't get a prize for being young.
Yeah,
Being youth is not an achievement, but yet everyone
yeah,
feels like it is.
yeah.
So to be like, oh, we're funner or not fun, we're more fun. Um, I related a little bit more to the other side because yeah, like when you're younger and your body's a little bit more up for doing stuff like that, yeah, you'll give it a shot. When you get older, you don't want to get a little injury or whatever. So
You don't even
I,
want to take too many vitamins because you don't want to overdose on that when you're getting older.
that's what I'm saying. So
Look,
I didn't like to make fun of the older cast members, but do I think Larsa's never? I mean, I know Larsa, you have been in the public eye for a long time. You've been with Scotty for a long time. Your son's a Laker, like all the things, but you know what the Golden Girls are. It's a TV show. You
she knows who Betty White is. Like, girl, don't act brand new. We know that you
yeah.
know, and there's no need to pretend like you don't.
So isn't that funny? This was my
I've never
first
watched
ever
the
critique.
Golden Girls, and I know what the Golden Girls
Really?
are.
Dorothy Zvornak, you never watched B. Arthur give a incredible performance.
I've
Anyway,
never watched an entire episode from start to finish of the Golden Girls. But here's also the thing, right? When it comes to anything in life, I don't believe that anybody else should project how I should react or feel about a certain thing. So I tend to wait until like it kind of fizzles down a little bit before I watch something. There's movies that came out over the past few years that I will not see when the hype is going on because if I don't react the way that somebody wants me to, it bothers me. And I'm like, it was a great film, but like I'm not obsessed with it like you are. And then they get upset, like, no, but you don't understand. It's great for this and it's great for that. And I'm like, chill. It's not that serious. Like,
that's so true. What did I say when I was guesting recently on the Next Mood Swing, the YouTube channel over there with Jesse, Courtney, and Daryl. And I remember having a different opinion in terms of Nene Leakes not being somebody that was of interest to me. And the
mhm.
comment that I made was, "Oh no, it's okay if if anyone else likes Nene Leakes. I
Mhm.
just love Kenya Moore so much." And
Yeah.
then I think I said something along the lines of, "I'm not in the space of convincing anybody. Like who you like. I'm just telling you what I like." So I
Yeah.
agree. I kind of tried to tie that together. But what I'm saying is, I am like you in that regard. Like I I'll tell you one right now that will make you not like shocked or anything. I don't know if you love the movie or whatever, but I've never seen and probably will never see, and people will go crazy. Is should I say it?
Hey.
And let me just preface it first. And I feel the exact same way you were with how you said Golden Girls,
Yeah.
or something that everyone swears is so good.
Yeah.
And if you say, "Oh, I saw it, it wasn't really my vibe," they look at you like you're nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine of that is, and I always say this is the year, but I'm not a sci-fi guy by any means at all. I've never. Should I say it? Should I wait till the end of the episode? I gotta say it now.
Say it
I
now.
have never seen and have no interest to see Star
Bing.
Wars.
That's fair. I
Oh, good. I'm glad
okay.
I'm
You want to
glad you
hear
didn't give
something
me.
funny?
Go.
In high school, my ninth grade year, our teacher wanted us to focus on the literature aspect of Star Wars. So every day for like 2 or 3 weeks, we watched Star Wars in first period, and I did not show up to first period because I did not care.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, what do people want in life? Do you want people to be authentic to what they like?
Yeah.
Because I've said that too, and people are like, you got to give it a shot. I'm like, but I know I don't really dig that. Just like the way you don't like Housewives of Miami. It's the you think the women are too loud. Whatever
Yeah.
you think, I don't. Oh my gosh, you. So don't. Oh my gosh, me.
Yeah. Like I don't rag on anybody for watching Housewives of Salt Lake City, but it's just I refuse to watch
Oh,
Housewives of Salt Lake City just
the
because
way you
I
came for Heather
know
Gay right now.
but I know the community of Salt Lake City, and it already annoys me because
Mhm.
I travel so much there for work, so I don't care any interest to know about a
Yeah.
cast that I'm like, don't care
New rule, let people watch what they watch.
what
But
they
do
want.
but do I think, and I'm only doing this because I have been Team Larsa, haven't there has not been one thing that I could even like critically bring her down upon. So I
I'm
want to be
bracing
more
myself.
I, I want no, I just want to be like, come on, Larsa, you knew. To be fair, Larsa, you know what the goal. B. Arthur is one of the
Girl,
best to ever do it. You know what I mean?
know who the Golden Girls
Um,
are.
but real quick, showing some love to our girl Karen.
Hey,
Oh, hey,
Karen.
hey, she's in San Diego now. She's in San
Yes.
Diego. One quick comment from Kay Santos, which is Larissa. Larissa
That's the
Larsa should have known of a Golden Girl. They are iconic. They are. B. Arthur to me. B. Arthur as Dorothy Zvornak, not to mention, I mean, Estelle Getty, who came from Torch Song Trilogy. Like these were like really, really phenomenal actresses. So,
yes.
um, Golden Girls, but it also was Larsa. That's also how she gives a confessional. She's very like, huh, whatever. We have one more comment here. I noticed that in this episode, Alexia and Marisol act differently when they aren't around each other. We talked about that briefly.
Yeah.
They're chiller. When they are together, they're a little toxic. Well, now I don't really feel. Oh, and Karen, of course, says, "Hi, boys," and we say, "Hello, Karen."
Hey, Karen.
I personally agree with half of that, which is it's nice to see different dynamics. It's nice for your comfort zone to not be around because it does stretch you to be like, if you're Alexia, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go on the water slide. That was
Yeah.
nice to see.
Oh my gosh,
Probably wouldn't
so
have
good to see.
happened if Marisol was there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that because they're together, they're toxic. And I also don't think that because two people are really close, they're shunning you or keeping you outside of the friend group or whatever. People are allowed to really bond and enjoy themselves. It is your job to have security and not look at that as like, oh, they're leaving me out. Like,
I will
people.
say I disagree with that.
How did I know you would
I have to
disagree?
disagree with that. And I'll tell you why from experience. When I go out with
Okay,
someone, and
use the
like it
whole.
might be different because they went on a girls' trip for several days at a time. But if I'm going out on a night with you and then your friends happen to be there, or you call your friends to meet up with us, and then it's like all your attention is over there, it's gonna annoy me and it's gonna piss me off. Like that's 100% honest. I don't I like I will leave like
Well, that's a little different because that's you're saying you set up a plan and then the plan changed. You brought somebody else, not you, but the other party brought other friendships into the group, and
I
then
don't
you're ignored. I think that would
but
be room to be frustrated. Yeah.
But the way that it relates is that like if it's people that you spend time with on a regular, right? Like in the Housewives are always together, you can get sort of giddy and then isolate or alienate someone else because you just don't care enough to pay attention. It's a bit self-centered. So that's where my disagreement comes in with you. It's like it becomes self-centered. You should be mingling with everybody because you're there as a group. Like spend time with all of them, get to know them. Like, but again, I mean,
Well, I
reality
guess
television is not changing the world. It is, but it's not changing the world like in a great way. You know, like some of these producers and directors and like major names in the industry are changing the world. Like we're not doing that here with reality television. Let's be call it spade a spade.
I guess I'm sitting on both sides of it in terms of like how like I'm more speaking on the friend who it's being not done to. No one's doing anything to you, but I'm trying to speak on times where I've been around people and I'm like, oh wow, so and so they're all so close. I'm not as close, and your initial human instinct is to go into jealousy, I suppose, in a
Mm-hmm.
healthy way. Jealousy. I always say this on all my shows. Jealousy is a normal human, element that comes through us all. It's just a matter of how you process it. So mind you, I'm not disagreeing with what you said because that did make a lot of sense. But I'm saying in the terms of me being that person, if I'm around Marisol and I like her, and if I'm around Alexia and I like her, but then when I'm around the two of them together and they're like just have a different language, I can't get mad at just me. I can't get mad at them and say, oh, they're doing something to me or they're leaving me out just because they happen to really connect. You see what I'm saying? So it's more of a how I process it. The way you stated it was kind of on the other side of that, so it did make sense too.
So exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Like tomorrow, you're coming. Tomorrow, I'm having a party, right, for my birthday.
Party!
I'm 31. So we're having the party right tomorrow. But it would be like if you show up, right? You're showing up for me, and then the way I'm seeing it, not saying that like this is the way you're seeing it in the episode, but if you show up for me, but then my friend Marsha flies down from San Francisco, but because her and I are very giddy with each other, and it's like la 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 la, and then I just ignore you for the whole night, and then it's like, hey Ronnie, we're gonna leave the house now, we're gonna go to the bars, then I ignore you again at the bars. It's like, why the hell am I here? Like you invited me, like you didn't interact with me one time. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what you're doing is displaying a really great hosting etiquette. You know what I mean? And I know I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day where some people just have more of a care than other people. Like they care more. And you're saying if I'm hosting the event, it's my responsibility to make sure, hey, is everyone kind of having a vibe? I remember one time, this is the silliest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And this is to show how much I care. This was I've never done a more moronic thing ever. When I worked at the radio station, the first radio station, when I was in my early 20s, 20 to about 24, we were a group. We bonded so well. And we're going to move along because we're going to wrap this episode very shortly here. We loved each other as a group. There was so many of us. We're all in our 40s now. We still talk. Like it's a good group.
Yes. You showed me pictures recently.
Yeah.
We won't talk about why, but recently, yes.
Right. Oh, right. They are fantastic, this group. Well, one time we were at an event and we had two vans. And this is just maybe I don't know why I did this. We were in two vans. There was three people that were left over with the two vans. We probably had more vans there, big old event. But the last three people that are standing are myself and one of my closest of the group and the other closest of the group. I could not decide who I was going to roll with. Like we're in one car and the other person's in another car because I felt like I would be leaving the other person out. Mind you, they were friendly, but they didn't talk every day. I talked with this one every day, and I talked with this one every day.
Yeah.
And like a fool, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Like a moron, I said, y'all could go in that car, I'll go in this car. And if you know anything about Ronnie, he doesn't like driving, and B, he definitely doesn't like driving alone. And I chose to drive alone because I was so sensitive. And I'm not trying to get the Nicole Award of etiquette, but I was shade. But I was so sensitive of like, both of them were my people. They were both like my friends.
Yeah.
And I could have had fun with either of them, but I chose to say, you two go together and I'll go alone. And after that 45-minute drive, when we got back to Burbank, I was like, this sucked. Why was I in the traffic by myself when I could, you know?
But it's funny that you didn't enjoy that because someone like myself, if I'm by myself, it's the music I want. It's the vibe that I want. I'm going ham by myself. If someone else is driving, I don't care. My hands are in the air. I'm living my life. Some of my best moments and my biggest vibes are driving to and from work on the 405 in traffic. I have all my jams on. There's not nobody to have me turn down the radio because I need to take a phone call. There's not no one in my car trying to converse with me when I don't want to converse. Like sometimes those moments are necessary. Again, it's necessary. Maybe this moment was necessary for Alexia to be by herself without Marisol because she was able to enjoy herself and to just indulge in the other girls. And watching her and Kiki and Gertie go down the water slides together, that was the moment that I've been waiting for all season. Like them just having fun.
Yeah.
What I did not want to see is like the old lady gang. And that's
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to listen. What day is it? We're going to revisit this video when you're over 40 years old and see if you are going to be so chipper and chapper about all of that. No.
You call me Joan Revers. I'm going to be 78 years old. And I'm still going to be popping.
For the people who are not as beautifully aged as me, over 40, and I look wonderful. Youth is not an achievement. It has been said, youth is not an achievement. So you're never going to diss somebody older just because they're a little bit older. But I mean, that's not what they were doing. They weren't dissing. I'm being the most.
Let me tell you, I have some friends, and we'll look over and be like, "Oh, not the old lady gang." And by old lady gang, you could literally be 25, but like it's just there's just no vibes going on. And I I hated to see it on the episode. It was like Larsa and Lisa and Nicole, and they were all just there, and they were like nothing was going on. Waikiki, Gertie, and Alexia were seizing the moment, enjoying their time. That is what I want to see. I don't want to see this whole like, so yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
I'm
it was
here.
an
Can I get
edit
another
though, Russell. It
cocktail?
was an edit. You knew it was an edit. It was like, we're gonna
That was
isolate
the truth.
all.
I failed to believe that that was just an edit.
You act like this what Russell, young Russell, you act like this was a surveillance camera. That was, we're going to isolate the clips. In
100%
that
what it was.
in that moment, Larsa could have been cracking jokes, Alexia could have been doing cartwheels. It was a scene. We got to say that. Anyways, we're going to move along from that because I want to talk about them eating at Marcus Samuelson's restaurant. I want to talk about that. But really,
Mm,
you know, when
that food looks so good.
when we get a good compliment, we must tell the world. And you know, Karen R, I knew you were a truth teller. I knew Karen was really smart. And she says, and I can't disagree,
Not really smart.
she says,
I
Ronnie,
mean, I
you
bet
look.
you Karen is very smart, but
Karen is very smart. And she says, Ronnie, you look so young. Plus, your personality speaks it. You're awesome. And Karen goes on to say, I have not met many other amazing. No, Karen didn't say anything else. Thank you,
Karen
Karen.
actually DM'd Ronnie and said, "Wow, Ronnie, I wish I met more people like you."
So, you know, if you ever wondered why I have my Larsa confidence, it comes out. It comes out during the show. I
Speaking
love
of
me. Yay.
Larsa,
Um,
how did you
oh
feel?
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Is it a sticky situation? No, 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 no.
It's not a
No.
sticky situation, but just how did you feel that she really didn't have she really didn't interject a lot of drama in this episode? She wasn't stirring the pot like she normally does. Like she has like her character has been known to do this season. She didn't really do that this episode.
Well, in the comments, you could disagree or agree. I don't think she ever really does it that much. I think people really have a hard time being around her and they sort of nitpick everything she does. Has she misstepped sometimes? Sure. But she's also present. She's also a good conversationalist. She also asks questions. I don't think she's doing it in a way like and I don't not like this person, but I don't think she's doing like a she by charade bone collector situation. Wait. What? What's
Not she by Sheree.
but I'm saying I don't think she does that. But what I'm saying is sometimes people have a hard time being around certain people. There's
Mhm.
like I don't want to say it's an intimidation factor because then it turns into the whole, well, you know, Dr. Nicole, she's got a career and Gertie's got a career. How could they be intimidated by Larsa? I'm not saying
But
that they all
all
go
those
ahead.
things aside, do you feel like Larsa is forcing herself to be around them and just making it happen for the time being?
I don't understand what you're asking. I feel like there's a great question here, and I want
Like,
to.
do you feel like it's like Larsa's time with the Real Housewives of Miami is up and that she should take a step back? Or do you feel like Larsa needs to be recasted with a new crew for the Real House of Miami? Like, do you feel like this isn't her element? It's not her zone, and she doesn't necessarily agree with everybody she's filming with. Did I lose you? Oh no, y'all! I think we lost Ronnie. Anyways, let's talk about the comments. Do you all feel that Larsa is almost forcing herself to engage with these women, even though she's not really caring to do so? I personally think that Larsa doesn't love her castmates at this point. I do feel like Larsa might fit very well in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I feel like Larsa would do great there. I feel like maybe Larsa might do very, very well in Atlanta because those women have an element of a chill vibe. Karen says she belongs with the Kardashians. Oh well, Karen, I think she tried it and it didn't work out there. you know, but who's to say, you know? Um, but I mean, I think Larsa does have a presence about herself that she can definitely hold a position on the show. I just don't know if the Real Housewives of Miami, this cast, is the right cast and fit for her because it doesn't seem like they very much vibe with each other. Um, Now, moving on to Adriana kind of still tiptoeing and feeling her way around in this episode. You know, obviously, she mentioned that she's not going to bring Thierry around anymore, and that is just kind of a done deal after the way that he acted at Nicole's engagement party, which I 100% agree. He somewhat ambushed her in a sense of, he did bring the papers and Adriana was aware of it, but she wasn't aware of the way he was going to present it. And I don't agree that Adriana or that Thierry should have presented the divorce papers the way that he did and disrespected Alexia because it's not fair. Even though Alexia speaks a certain way and acts a certain way when it came to him. So there's that. But I mean, another thing about this episode is that Alexia somewhat confessed to Frankie's dad, because now he's out from school, being put away for conspiracy. Kay Santos and Karen, what did you think about seeing Alexia's baby daddy post jail on this episode? I was kind of shook myself to kind of see who Alexia's uh, ghost from Christmas past come make a visit. It's very, very interesting. You think he looks good? I think he looked good too, but you know what? A little bologna sandwich and a little slop on a plate and some weights can do that for you. I mean, maybe I need to go to jail and work out these biceps because it's not growing the way that I want it to. You know what I mean? It's just not it. But I was surprised that she almost admitted to him being a drug dealer on camera. She said he went away for conspiracy because she believed it was drugs. But I mean, who doesn't know the truth about anybody in their life or their kids' father? I'm sure she knows the tea on it. She just didn't want to bring that up on camera, so she tried to conceal it the best that she can. But like Ronnie and I mentioned before, she's very much an open book. So that's why she kind of let the cat out of the bag when it came to his past and him going away for 5 years and then going away for 5 years again. So that was kind of shaking, or like that was kind of a little bit of a shakiness to see going on. I'm getting word now from Ronnie to see what's going on and why we lost him. He did tell everybody he will be back. He just need to do a little bit of a reboot because sometimes in the world of technology, it just isn't our friend. Um, so you're right, Karen. I do think it was cool that he's trying to make it right with Peter and Frankie, and regardless, that's still their dad, and I believe that everybody should have a relationship with their families, regardless of the drama, unless it's so detrimental that it physically or emotionally scarred you, and then at that point, I think you should cut all ties. But just because you're a drug dealer doesn't make you a bad person, and I think sometimes in our society, that's where things go, is that you're assumed to be a bad person because of drugs or because of selling drugs. Just because you're not like just because you're selling them doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. Sometimes it's your survival instinct. But I mean, regardless, I could see that there's still a lot of love between Alexia and her ex, and that they do ultimately, their kids are the most important thing to them. And I think it's great that Frankie takes to his dad and he loves his dad. And I think it's great that Peter engages with him as well. Moving on to towards the end of the episode, back at the resort, Larsa and Nicole actually kind of walk side by side as they're going to the Nexus Private Party Club, which, I mean, hey, that floating flamingo and then bottles of champagne that were popping, like, I want to be part of this crew. Like, Bravo, look, if Bravo would just listen and bring a show here to Long Beach, you could throw me and Ronnie in it. Ronnie lives down the street. I have a lot of cool neighbors. You know, we all somewhat are a little sassy. Y'all might see some of that tomorrow on the Instagram live or on, Instagram in general. But I think besides that, it would like so far the episode was great, and I think
Hello.
again, you got to be able to pay with the Joneses to keep up with the Joneses.
Hmm.
Ronnie, welcome back. We talked about Peter and
Did you
Frankie's
hold?
dad being drug dealers, and and
Did you hold down the whole episode by yourself?
well, I mean, I was letting the people know that we lost you for a minute, so I had to
Oh my
continue.
gosh! As Madonna said, everybody, you got to celebrate and clap for Russell, because I thought we were done. Go to his channel, Russell X Raymond, on the YouTube, and of course you're on mine. Oh, I'm so sorry. How did it go?
It was good.
How did it go? What did you
As you
talk
can
about?
see, Miss Karen held me down and she was giving me info, and we were touching base through the episode. We started going down a little naughty track, talking about Alexia's Mr. Nasty time.
Oh.
But
well, thank
it
you,
was
thank you.
safe. It's safe. We're safe. Everything is safe.
Hmm.
Ronnie, your overall thoughts. I know you wanted to mention the restaurant. I was just talking about the beach club. Also, I didn't get a chance to touch on yet that Julia took the girls to the side to announce that she could potentially be adopting. I thought it was an unnecessary tease. I personally thought that she was going to say that there was a baby on the way. She got a call. She's about to adopt, but that was just not the case. It was her and Gertie had this conversation and she released it to Gertie, but it was a little bit more dramatic than I needed. I didn't really need that moment. Are you still there?
No, agree. No,
I'm like,
agree.
did we lose you again? Where are you at?
No, I agreed. I mean, it's such a hard thing for us. We're supposed to judge the show authentically, but at the same time, we definitely don't ever want to judge, is this an authentic storyline? But listen, if people did it to Melissa Gorga, we have to at least open up, like, is this what Julia really wants? I understand the advocacy side behind it for sure, especially that she's inserting in a lot of her conversation that Florida with Don't Say Gay and these other issues. And I like that. But what I could tell you is, it feels like you have to kind of squint yet again and say, Julia, are you really that quirky? Like, is a curtain defeating you, or is this like a little bit of an act? And also, Gertie is 100% who she is. She's 100% authentic. But when that scene happened, it was like two people were such in a character, both of them, that I was like, none of this makes sense. Like, we're losing Larsa camera time for this. No, I mean, it's not about
Here we go.
It's not about Larsa at all. But I feel bad, and I feel bad for anyone who's watching who's like, no, you don't understand the struggles of this, and I honestly don't. But we do have to wonder.
Speaking of babies, can we just pay homage to our people who gave me my start? So Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos are expecting their first baby, thanks to surrogate. She announced on Kelly and Ryan and Good Morning America. And there are people that are going through this. My best friend Roxana has endometriosis, and she had a hysterectomy at 21, but luckily she had her daughter at 18, and she's, she tells me all the time how grateful she is for it. So I get that. Element, but congratulations to Kevin and Maria.
Absolutely.
We know it's been a long journey, and Kim Kardashian gave her a lot of insight, and Zoe Saldana gave her a lot of insight on, what it takes when it comes to surrogacy, and, introduced her to really good lawyers and things like that can help them guide them through the process. So good for them. But I was kind of let down that Julia didn't have that moment of, we got the call, it's gonna happen. I'm so excited, because I hope it's not a buildup for a letdown, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's when you say the other side of it and these true sides of it, and yes, shout out to Maria and Kevin. Maria and Kevin at AfterBuzz, they were They had this huge platform, and both Russell and myself, we did one of the shows over there. And that's,
Yeah.
from that point, it was like, wait, you like J-Lo? So do I. And all these common interests. And then now flashing forward a couple years and a couple New York City party nights,
Oh,
uh, many of
baby.
many of them. Now we're here doing this show. And I do love to see that with Maria and Kevin. And I do understand the
Yeah.
struggle is hard. And so if anyone hopefully can take my words and hear that I'm not dismissing the struggle, I'm kind of agreeing with what you said, which is we hope it's not like a letdown. Like it's
Yeah.
such a serious thing. You don't want to quote unquote,
Use it
you
as a
know,
storyline.
gosh, and I don't even like having to really go there.
Yeah. But
But
I mean,
anyways,
again, we're here to tell the truth, and that's what we have to do.
and again, I did say that Julia does at least actually Karen made somebody made a comment that made a lot of sense. But at least stretching the truth or not, Julia is advocating for women of a certain age within this journey, and two women together also. So at least there's something there. But I just thought that Gertie scene was just like, it was like two people lying to each other.
And that's the thing too, is like I was telling you earlier, Gertie is still finding her place on camera. So sometimes her reactions are very forced.
Yeah.
Like when she was on the phone with on FaceTime with Nicole last episode or the episode before, it was a very forced interaction of the way she wanted to make herself laugh and come off. And so it's like, just chill, take a step back. And I know sometimes, you can't see the footage as it's being shot. Like, thankfully, on my show, Create the Escape, Sue Side, executive producer, and Elaine Kavanaugh let me see the footage as it was being shot every week. So I was able to see how I was coming off on camera and make adjustments very, very rapidly and in real time. So I get it. Not everybody has that luxury because this is such a huge franchise that, I mean, it's in the best interest for Peacock to just have them sign over their rights of editing and then just edit. It works better in their favor because they can do the things that they need to do and just pump it through, because as the consumer, we want to see this come out as quickly as possible so we can see it as close to real time as possible. And Andy Cohen, NBC Universal, and Peacock are up against the media beast of it leaking before they can actually air the episodes, because then all the momentum behind the episodes is lost if any of that gets out before they can produce it and put it out onto the platform.
Russell, you make so many good points. I'm so thankful that you are co-hosting with me and that we're doing, or you started New Jersey as far as a recap on your channel. Like, I'm very happy that we hopefully are making people enjoy the way we recap these shows. And I don't think we keep it too rude by any means. I think we're pretty calm, pretty nice for the most part. My only mention with Marcus Samuelsson was Marcus Samuelsson, of course, when I lived uptown in New York, up on 145th in Harlem. Marcus Samuelsson really, with the Red Rooster, as I believe the first restaurant he had there. He of course had Street Bird, and I believe one of the restaurants he has is also in Miami now too, because what's it called? Something, the artwork, I've seen it before. I've seen it on a TV show, the Miami Rap TV show on HBO. It's a scripted series with Issa Rae produces that. They also featured that there. Anyways, when I saw Marcus, I was like, could that be Marcus Samuelsson? And I did look it up, and it is Marcus Samuelsson, who did so much for the community of Harlem, with the sort of like not creating on his own because Sylvia's was there, but Restaurant Row. And anyways, the reason I bring it up is he's one of the few, I guess, I mean, as a chef, a celebrity, he's always working. But he was one of the few celebrities I'd always see uptown, because I'd always go to this coffee shop, which was right next door to one of the restaurants he had. And he was always the life of the party, friendly with everybody. It's just one of those things where you're like, he's just such a good guy. And you love to see what he's done with his culinary skill set. And just, I guess continues to grow further and further and further and further. So that made me happy. It made me say, not only do I want to go vacation in the Bahamas, but I want to go eat at that exact restaurant. Okay, I'm done.
And that's good. No, that's what we want. We want good people to have great success. I think that's there's not. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
It's a long day. It's a long day. Don't worry.
It's hot. I haven't had enough Celsius yet.
Well,
But we do want people to, have a lot of success when they're good people and when they're genuinely mean well in society. And those
mhm,
housewives that do make it and go the longest yard, somewhat in a sense have good that comes from them.
yeah.
And just saying. So
I will
the fact that
say
you love him so much, I
oh,
appreciate
yeah, I've
that.
got a photo with him, me and my
Yeah.
cousin, we ate at Street Bird right there on
Mhm.
116th in Harlem. I've been to Red Rooster, I've been downstairs at the Red Rooster, a place called
Yes.
Ginny's Supper Club, which I've been to a Halloween there, I've been to, did I go to a New Year's Eve? I've before I was old, I was young.
You're still young, baby. You're still young.
And I used to have a lot of fun. Anyway, just because we made some, or I made some, like, questions, I wouldn't want anyone to be like, oh gosh, you're not feeling Julia's authentic storyline. But just to let it be known, the comments necessarily also say,
Mm.
Karen R says, do we really think that Martina is going to have a child with Martina? Well, the last part's a
We
little
get
challenging.
Julia with Martina.
Yeah, the last part we won't add because that's a newer development, I think after the show. And we hope that actually we'll use the time to say prayers to Martina and
Martina.
wherever her journey is at.
Word on the street is she's actually doing
Good.
very well, and everything is actually responding the way that it should. So we're hoping that it continues that way, and we're sending all of our well wishes to Martina.
Yeah.
She's, we don't, we just hate to see anybody go through this. And I know, like, I have friends and family who have gone through this, and so when I say all the best, I do mean that with my whole heart. All the best to Martina and Julia with this situation, because this can be a very tough thing and a very trying thing to
Yeah.
go through. But Martina has the spirit. She has the mindset and the fight within her to go through whatever means necessary. And I know she loves Julia to the end of the earth, and she will not climb any mountain or not climb any, bridge that she can find to make sure that, she's there to support her wife.
Yeah. Other real personal things that I loved, I think you might have mentioned it already. Um, it is nice to see Alexia have to dig very deep into being there for Frankie
Hmm.
and Peter by
Hmm.
way of the father who had been away. I have not seen the Netflix documentary that kind of Alexia is in,
Hmm.
but I would love to see it to know more about some of the stuff. But people they go through their things, and he happens to be back right now.
Hmm.
Alexia needs to, she's very mama bear for a reason.
Hmm.
Um, Again, Alexia gets a lot of critique on this show, and she makes a lot of errors, but she also has a lot to give too. So I'm real interested to see the connection. And I don't know if you spoke on that, but I think that's pretty
I
much all
did.
that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
just my side of it. Yeah. It'll
And
be good to watch.
it's important to note that regardless of any television show or any life that anybody's going through, we have to remember that even though we're giving our honest opinion on this show, is everyone is only doing the best that they can every day with what they have to deal with.
Mm, I like that. And that makes me think of shock and awe. Ah! And it makes me think of
I hate
ah!
it. I was just in that pose.
And it makes me think of no, I'm kidding. But I think that's it for today. Like I said, we want to try to condense the episodes a little shorter, and there wasn't a lot going on. Marisol showing up thinking, you thought I wasn't gonna be here. It's like, it's funny, it's gonna piss some people off, even the viewers too. I personally am kind of into it, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see what entices Adriana to be to the point where she throws something. I'm not a fan of that. I was never a fan of Adriana putting her hands on Joanna Krupa.
Yeah.
Never a fan of that.
Yeah.
So let's not forget Adriana, though she plays this like part-time Laverne and Shirley, I'm also going to be quirky, just like Julia, we'll see, because we know another side of her. She's best when she gives us a lot of vulnerability. I haven't dated in some time. That's what we want from Adriana. So we'll see where it goes.
With that being said, y'all, thank you for joining us today. That, not only that, but please, 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 I know I've asked this before and I have not received any DM me your video questions, both about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and the Real Housewives of Miami. Just do me a favor and put a pause in between there so that we can break them up and put them on our respective channels. You can find me at Russell X Raymond on Instagram or at Russell X Raymond after youtube.com//. So please we would love to add you in the show so that we can rightfully respond to your questions, because we want to give you what you want in our episodes. That's why we're here. I mean, we're also giving you life and fashion and body and youth and age and gorgeous and beauty, and we're giving you everything under the sun.
We're giving wisdom. We're giving a beautiful smile, hazel eyes. I mean,
I'm
don't
giving
you forget
Elizabeth Taylor purple eyes.
Okay.
Father.
We're gonna leave you with this. Did you agree? Well, I mean, I guess she didn't know it, but you know, she just happens to not know everything. I didn't find it that funny. I found it funny because me and you have actually on this show, we said, oh, something. Do you mean Nicole could send Anthony's a DP? And you said, don't say DP because it could mean a And I found it funny that we had that conversation on one of the episodes. And then now Karen's saying, can we laugh at the DP moment with Julia? I mean, we can. But she, you know, I guess she didn't know it. I guess she didn't know what double the pleasure, you know, squeezing it on in the, you know, that doesn't fit. Oh, yes, it does. I guess it was funny. The scenario was funny. I like to see Adriana have fun. That's what I'd like to see.
Yes.
And Julia's part in it. I mean, it's fine. Okay, we gotta go. Do you have anything else?
And also, I don't know if I'm going to be here next week or the week after, because I'm leaving to Australia on the 15th. I'm going to World Pride. I'm going to explore the Great Barrier Reef. However, if I can get any access to Peacock or any of the shows out there, because I know Peacock is still kind of branching out by countries, and they're rolling out as fast as they can, but you know, it takes time to build these things in different countries and get the rights and everything. So if I can, I'll be here with Ronnie. I'll be shooting in between. If not, I'll go ahead and send some news updates with my camera, make it work to the best that I can. Until then, you can follow my story. You can follow me at Russell X Raymond all over the internet, or you can go to my website and find all my handles at russellraysilva.com.
All right. And you're on the channel, so all the links are below. Gotta go. Bye. Thank you, Russell, and have a safe travel. We'll talk though.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.